Because when I was first diagnosed with having lupus, I was so down, I was so depressed, and the doctors told me I would never be able to work again.
The jury, that $5 million engagement rings from Birdman, honey, just gone, honey. So Toni Braxton is trying to get her engagement ring back. Now, on one of the questions I want to know,
I know every.
You take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%.
Birdman and Toni Braxton's jaw-dropping 48-hour marriage may be the boldest cash grab in modern music. And the deeper you dig, the wilder it gets. If the person you wed on a Friday filed divorce papers before Monday's sunrise and demanded every dime of your fortune, how fast would your heartbeat shift from love to litigation? That's exactly the roller coaster Brian Birdman Williams says he rode when R&B royalty Toni Braxton walked down the aisle and then walked straight into a lawyer's office. Their whirlwind saga moves from diamond proposals to missing millions, from chart-topping success to public bankruptcy, and every twist feels more theatrical than the last. Buckle up. The receipts are stacked, and each one flips the story in a more daring direction. A silk-voiced balladeer and a tattooed rap mogul hardly looked like soulmates, yet industry whispers link them as far back as the late 1990s. Their friendship simmered quietly until 2016, when paparazzi shots captured them hand-in-hand at the BET Hip Hop Awards. Fans blinked. Was this a publicity stunt or the unlikeliest of love stories? Whether staged or sincere, chemistry sparked loud enough to drown out doubts. Birdman leaned into the romance with the grand gestures you'd expect from a man who signs checks under the name Cash Money. By mid-2018, he presented a yellow diamond ring rumored to cost $5 million. It glittered like a miniature sun against Toni's hand, instantly transforming rumor into headline. Yet despite the sparkle, concrete wedding plans stayed elusive. No date, no venue, just coy red carpet shrugs. Outsiders started to wonder if the love story was real or designed to keep both names hot in a streaming-hungry era. That doubt planted the first seed of skepticism, and skepticism would soon bloom into full-blown suspicion. But the only thing vanishing faster than certainty was the ring itself.
the jury, that $5 million engagement rings from Birdman, honey, just gone, honey. So Toni Braxton is trying to get her engagement ring back. Now, on one of the questions I want to know,
I know every.
In November 2018, Toni took to Twitter with a frantic plea. She left her Louis Vuitton carry-on a Delta flight, and heartbreak of heartbreaks, the case came back minus the massive stone. Mainstream outlets ran sympathetic headlines, yet blogs shouted an uglier rumor. Word in pawn shop circles said The Rock was quietly sold off ledger to settle debts no insurance company could cover. Birdman laughed it away on radio, insisting, "That's just a ring. Love bigger than jewelry." Still, friends close to him later described the incident as the first fracture in his trust. How do you misplace a gem bigger than most starter homes? Why hadn't airport security flagged such a high-value item? And most importantly, why was Toni suddenly so cash-pressed that she couldn't simply replace it? That question leads directly into Toni's long, winding money maze, and it isn't a pretty map.
And then you came back.
Yeah. I think it's when I was first diagnosed with having lupus, I was so down, I was so depressed, and the doctors told me I would never be able to work again, your music career's over, but the man upstairs had a whole other plan for me.
Yeah.
But at the time...
For many listeners, Toni Braxton's voice defines 1990s R&B. Platinum records, Grammys, global tours. But behind those smooth ballads lurked jagged balance sheets. In 1998, at what should have been her commercial peak, she stunned the music world by filing Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Court documents revealed she'd earned less than 35 cents per album sold after label recoupment, and luxury spending outpaced her actual cash flow. She dug herself out through touring, talk show appearances, and a fierce Vegas residency, only to file again in 2010. This second bankruptcy looked even bleaker. Medical bills for a heart condition, lawsuits over canceled shows, and debts listed as high as $50 million. Two filings would sink most careers, but Toni's did something subtler. They eroded public confidence. Radio still spun Unbreak My Heart, yet every new venture felt shadowed by the question, can she afford to fail again?
Braxton!
She was so freaking mean to me. I was in shock.
Do you take responsibility for the situation that you're in right now?
100%.
100%.
100%.
I couldn't believe it because I loved her so much. I admired her and looked up to her. And she pretty much reprimanded me. What do you mean? And immediately, she made me feel this big. This big. That moment completely changed my career. It made people look down on me.
By the late 2010s, Her album sales barely cracked 16,000 units. Reality show money from Braxton Family Values filled some gaps, but as ratings fell, so did checks. Insiders whispered that tax liens were nipping at her heels, and that every new project required a miracle of advanced funding just to launch. Cash flow was tight, options tighter, and Birdman's empire, rumored around $150 million, must have looked like oxygen to someone gasping. Fast forward to December 2023. For years after their quiet breakup, Toni starts popping up wherever Birdman appears. A playful emoji under his Instagram Live, a nostalgic quote tweet about shared memories, a surprise cameo backstage at his Miami studio. Comment threads explode with spin the block jokes, but Birdman keeps it coy. Close friends claim he hesitated, wary after the ring debacle. Yet chemistry is a tricky beast. Familiarity can masquerade as fate. By late spring 2024, the rumor mill announces they're back together. Older, wiser, ready to correct past mistakes. Fans split into two camps, romantics cheering second chances and cynics betting on deja vu. August 8th, 2024 silences doubt. Toni and Birdman marry in a candlelit ceremony, so private that even Toni's sisters learn after the fact. Fresh wedding pictures drip across social media. White roses, Birdman's diamond-studded grill flashing beside Toni's satin smile. It looks like forever. It lasts 48 hours. On August 10th, Toni files paperwork listing that very date as their official separation. Her attorneys cite irretrievable breakdown, a phrase as chilly as it is final. Sources near the courthouse leak a jaw-dropping number. $160 million, the full figure of Birdman's estimated net worth, appears in early settlement drafts. Birdman hears the ask and allegedly snarls, "That's a heist, not a divorce." The internet roars louder than any courtroom. Rapper 50 Cent shares a meme comparing Toni's move to bank robbery, captioning, "If you'd been working 16 years, you'd want a payout too." The post vanishes hours later, but screenshots are forever. Hashtags like hashtag 2-day divorce and hashtag gold digger anthem trend worldwide. Supporters counter with hashtag Team Toni, citing her health struggles and claiming she deserves comfort after decades of exploitation. The honeymoon hasn't just ended, it's burst into public flame. Birdman chooses scorched earth. In a leaked voice note he rages, "Put some respect on my name. I ain't no walking ATM." He alleges that in the weeks before filing, Toni tried accessing his jewelry vault through a mutual acquaintance, maybe to liquidate pieces for safekeeping. He claimed she badgered his accountant for cash transfers beyond the prenup's modest allowances, and that her lawyers threatened to expose things you don't want your daughter to read if he refused to negotiate. Toni's camp flatly denies extortion, painting Birdman as a jilted ex spinning half-truths for clout. But even her publicist tiptoes around financial questions, repeating only that health costs and canceled concerts have historically strained Ms. Braxton's resources. Translation: money remains an elephant neither side can shrink. January 2025 arrives with a curveball. Toni's team quietly dismisses the divorce petition without prejudice, meaning she can refile later. The legal world blinks. Was a secret settlement reached, or did Toni realize the optics of demanding all his money damaged her brand more than any payoff was worth? With the case closed, for now, social media interest wanes. Birdman posts fresh studio selfies, hinting at a Cash Money compilation. Toni uploads studio snippets of a ballad titled Second Chances, lyrics dripping with regret and resilience. The calm seems genuine, until a gossip site releases grainy footage allegedly showing Toni at a discreet Beverly Hills pawn boutique, diamond in hand. Bloggers zoom in, swear it's the long-lost engagement ring, and accuse her of pawning sentiment once more. Toni rushes to Instagram stories to deny, claiming she was dropping off heirlooms for maintenance. The boutique refuses comment. Birdman's camp leaks that private investigators traced the missing ring months ago to an international buyer. Fueling speculation, the pawn shop clip captures a second attempt to liquidate. Trust, already fragile, shatters like glass. Birdman's lawyer sees momentum, filing liens to protect his Louisiana estates and moving luxury vehicles into corporate shells. His inner circle jokes he now signs prenups with caterers. Littler jokes hide bigger truths. Once bitten, twice shy, twice sued, thrice cautious. During a podcast appearance, Lil Wayne quips, "Pop's got prenup PTSD. Don't even ask to borrow a lighter." Laughter masks a new reality. Birdman's fortress is locked, and Toni no longer has a key. Toni responds not with lawsuits, but with narrative. She inks a publishing deal for a memoir tentatively titled Unbreak My Bank. Early press blurbs promised the untold story of contracts, misogyny, and chronic illness inside the music industry. Advanced marketing portrays her as a survivor who loved recklessly, trusted the wrong men, and paid the price twice, once in court, once in public reputation. The memoir sells at auction for a mid-six-figure advance, conditional on final manuscript approval. Skeptics say the deal hinges on new, headline-worthy revelations, perhaps about Birdman's business practices. Lawyers on both coasts prepare for red lines and potential injunctions. Birdman tweets a single shrug emoji beneath the book announcement. His attorney replies with the scales of justice icon. Subtweets become chess moves, readers become jurors. By midsummer 2025, the pair's story has mutated from gossip to cautionary tale. Financial podcasts dissect prenup clauses. Entertainment lawyers lecture interns on the 48-hour marriage rule. Whenever a celebrity couple trend, someone inevitably comments, "Remember Birdman and Toni. Love is temporary. Assets are forever." Yet ask 10 people which side they believe, and you'll still get 10 different answers. Some see Toni as a brilliant strategist leveraging marriage laws to reclaim wealth she lost to predatory contracts. Others judge her a serial opportunist who slips on bankruptcy paperwork the way most people slip on spa robes. Meanwhile, Birdman alternates between villain and victim. The mogul who once boasted of blowing millions on Versace suits now cries foul when a partner wants a cut. Public sympathy seesaws daily. So where does the saga land today? Legally, they are still married. No finalized divorce decree. No public settlement. Practically, they appear estranged. Toni tours small theaters, tickets bundled with meet and greets to maximize revenue. Birdman focuses on label anniversaries and occasional cameo videos. Sources claim his accountant still audits shared expenses monthly, just in case Toni drops a surprise filing. She, in turn, travels with an entertainment lawyer on retainer. It feels less like romance, more like a Cold War standoff. No missiles launched, fingers hovering over the red button. Strip away the headlines, though, and a broader lesson emerges. Fame is loud about success, but whispers about debt until silence erupts into scandal. Contracts that favored labels in the 90s still haunt artists 30 years later. Medical crises can wipe decades of royalties overnight. When fortunes run roller coaster steep, love stories risk becoming safety nets or parachutes. Was Toni chasing Birdman's net worth or chasing stable ground after years of financial freefall? Did Birdman fall for a con? Or did he simply underestimate the turbulence of loving someone still paying yesterday's medical bills with tomorrow's gigs? The answers may stay sealed behind NDAs, but the questions linger. Urgent, cautionary, universal. And yet, one truth stands crystal clear. Neither side has sung the final verse. Birdman drops a teaser beat on Threads captioned, "Y'all finished or y'all done?" The same taunt from his infamous radio rant. Toni replies minutes later with a line of musical notes and a single broken heart emoji. Thousands of fans screenshot the exchange, praying for either a courtroom finale or a duet. Because in the end, spectators thrive on cliffhangers and this saga still dangles its ultimate hook. Who will walk away richer, financially, emotionally, or both? Maybe a judge will hammer the answer. Maybe a best-selling memoir will. Or maybe, in the most jaw-dropping twist yet, Birdman and Toni will reunite on stage, crooning about scars, forgiveness, and the price of love. Stranger things have happened. Just ask anyone who saw them marry on a Thursday and separate before Sunday brunch. Until that final act arrives, remember the first rule of celebrity finance. Where there's smoke, someone's bag is burning. So watch the headlines, count the commas, and keep an eye on that missing diamond. Because in R&B's most audacious love story, the encore could be worth more than the ring, the mansion, and every respect hoodie combined, and the last hook hasn't even dropped yet. Who do you think's gonna be the next person in the limelight? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get the latest celebrity news and updates. I'll see y'all on the next one.